There's been a lot written about Texas and the cold winter snap and the blackouts and the scandalous rises in electricity prices. But one of the most important pieces of analysis written about Texas has been done by two Australian energy experts. And they asked what the lessons were for Australia, and they came up with three quite important points. One is that the climate is changing and that grids need to be prepared. Now in Texas and other places that might be against the chances of freezing. In Australia it almost certainly means the chances of super heat waves. The second point they made was that this will only be addressed by new technologies and we need to move on from what we have now. And the third thing they said was that we need to move quickly, because if we don't, just imagine what's going to happen in 10 and 20 years' time and the sort of climate events that we'll be dealing with then, and hoping that the grid will stay by us and provide the power that we depend on. In Australia, though, it seems that our major parties are just ignoring this completely. In the last couple of weeks, we've heard the federal government, of course, carry on with its gas is the main transition fuel and their gas-led recovery. And disappointingly, we've also heard from Labor. Even Labor has produced a draft policy that they'll discuss at the end of this month, centred around gas and carbon capture and storage. And it makes you wonder whether they've actually read the parts where they say it's not just good enough to have net zero emissions by 2050. You need to be acting soon, and you need to be acting now. And all this makes you wonder. We've got the energy experts talking about this. We have the Australian Energy Market Operator talking about the transition to renewables. It has even modelled the policy, the stated policy by the federal government about this gas-led transition, and the response they got from the energy industry was, you've got to be kidding, this doesn't work, it doesn't make sense, it's simply not viable, it's actually a waste of time doing so. So they're going to drop that idea and they're actually going to model a 1.5 degree scenario, which is a rapid transition, getting to something like 93-95% renewables by 2040 or even before then. Even the gas industry this week came out with their own report. Oh, this is why gas is important. But as Ketan Joshi, one of our reporters, wrote, if you look in the details, they come up with the same conclusion as the Australian Energy Market Operator. Gas, sure, some of it will still be around, but no more than we've got now, probably a lot less. We'll be burning a lot less fuel and we'll be facing a renewables-led grid, a renewables-dominated grid. We're talking 90% or more in the grid. So let's just accept this. Let's just change this major party rhetoric. Let's just get on board and accept that we actually need to move forward here. We need to embrace the new technologies. We've got to stop pretending that the things that we've relied on for the past 50 years are going to serve our purpose. We have climate change. We have the new technologies. We need to move fast. Seems pretty simple to me. Let's do it.